In today's topic, we will be covering the different approaches or models in agricultural extension. So, back to the basics muna tayo. What is agricultural extension? Yun muna yung tatanungin natin sa ating mga sarili before we proceed with the different principles and models. So, agricultural extension is a non-formal education process. Remember, meron tayong three types of education. We have formal, that is something institutionalized, katulad ng elementary, secondary, and college education. We have informal, the learning or the education that we get from our experience. And non-formal, which is basically an education process that is outside the institutionalized system ng formal education process. So agricultural extension is a non-formal education process and ang purpose nito ay para turuan yung mga farmers and yung mga rural folks natin to improve their farming methods, to increase their productivity, to boost yung kanilang income, and to enhance the quality of their life. There are four key elements when it comes to agricultural extension. And the first one, nabanggit ko na to kanina, is that it is a non-formal education process. It happens outside of our formal school system. It happens directly at homes, in farms, and in the community. The next element of agricultural extension is yung number two, communication. So ang agricultural extension, it relies heavily on clear and effective information sharing. The third element is voluntary change. So with the word voluntary, ang ibig sabihin niyan, dapat ang farmer gusto niyang magbago, hindi dapat siya napipilit. So that's the third element. And number four is institutional support. Diyan na pumapasok yung mga services that are usually deployed, not just by the government, but in partnership with universities, with the private sectors, and other non-government organizations. The core purpose of agricultural extension is this. Sigurado ako sa inyong AgEx classes nakita and narinig niyo na to. The main purpose or the core purpose of agricultural extension is to help people help themselves. Which means, it is not just about giving information. Ang goal ng agricultural extension is to empower the farmers to make better decisions, to adapt to change, and to improve their well-being. Hindi lang natin sila ini-spoon-fed, but rather, we are guiding them towards empowerment. Another way to think about it is that extension is like a bridge. So para siyang tulay. Tulay ng ano? Tulay ng research papunta sa practice. So if you have here research to develop all of the technologies that the farmer can use, yung nasa gitna dyan is agricultural extension. So the goal of agricultural extension is to get research at dalhin sa mga farms so that people in the rural area can help themselves. There are 6 key goals of extension. The first one is to improve farm productivity and income. Kailangan turuan natin si farmer to have better yield sa kanyang crops, livestock, fisheries, and even agribusiness techniques. Ang gusto natin, ma-increase yung yield niya, ma-increase yung quality ng kanyang produkto, because we know that if we increase the yield and quality, we can also increase profitability. Number 2 goal is to transform the Philippine agriculture into a technology-based industry. So kailangan mag-move away tayo from traditional resource-based methods. Kailangan magamit natin yung kapangyarihan ng modern science in order to promote sustainable farming practices. The third goal is to enhance rural living standards. Kasi if we can enhance rural living standards, we can improve food security, we can improve nutrition, health, education, gender equality in these rural areas. Fourth, agricultural extension aim to empower farmers to make informed decisions. Hindi lang para tulungan si farmer na mamuhay ng maayos, kundi tulungan si farmer na maging matalino sa pagpili, magkaroon ng sound opinion, magkaroon ng skill katulad ng critical thinking bago mag-adapt ng iba't ibang technology. Ang gusto natin si farmer, hindi lang siya basta-basta sumusunod sa gusto natin. Gusto natin matalino siya, nag-iisip siya, na ibabagay niya kung ano yung konteksto na nasaan siya doon sa pipiliin niyang technology na ating ipinopromote. And finally, the goal, the fifth goal of extension is to promote democratic and participatory development. Kaya sa AgX, we are also strengthening rural organizations katulad ng mga kooperatiba, mga farmer groups. No? We are encouraging them to group themselves, to organize themselves, to have some sort of leadership and vision papunta sa progress na gusto nilang marating. And with this, five goals of extension, we can now derive the five key functions. Ano ba yung gamit ng agricultural extension? Why do they exist? Ito yung limang gamit nila. First is knowledge and technology transfer. As an agricultural extensionist, ang gusto mo, you are delivering new farming knowledge, inputs, and technologies to the farmers. Number two, as an agricultural extensionist, your function is to build capacity. Okay? You need to strengthen yung farmers' abilities to manage yung kanilang farms, to manage their finances, and even their livelihood para sila ay mag-progress. The third function is to become a problem-solving facilitation. So you are not solving their problem, okay? You are facilitating the problem-solving process. Ibig sabihin, as an agriculturist, you need to help communities analyze their own problems. Turuan mo sila kung paano isipin yung kanilang problema and kung paano ito solusyonan. Number four, key function of agricultural extension is to mobilize the community. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng mobilization? Okay? Ang ibig sabihin ng mobilization is to organize the farmers, the rural people, into groups, into associations, into cooperatives, para they can leverage through collective action. Kaya sa marketing, meron tayong konsepto ng collective bargaining. Kapag ikaw ay mag-isa lang, hindi ganun katlakas or hindi ganun kalakas yung bargaining power mo. But when you are in a group, okay, you are within a community, you are mobilized, then you have bigger chances of bargaining deals that will be good for you and will be good for the community. And finally, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, agricultural extension acts as a tulay. Okay? It acts as a bridge, it acts as a linkage, which connects farmers saan? Kinoconnect natin yung mga farmers to research institutions, to markets, to financial services, mga pautang, and other policy-making bodies. So yan yung goals and functions of agricultural extension. Pero ang mahalaga na I think lalabas sa exam is to dive deep on the different principles of agricultural extension. Lalo na when we're talking about the modern day agricultural extension. Saan ba nakapatong yung mga different methods, strategies, approaches natin? Nakapatong yan dun sa mga prinsipyo na pinaniniwalaan natin as an agricultural extensionist. So ano-ano yung mga basic principles that an agricultural extensionist should believe in. So ito dapat yung mga paniniwalaan natin. First, start where the people are. This means, kailangan daw nating respetuhin yung mga existing knowledge ni farmer. Huwag natin siyang i-treat na bobo or kailangan nating punan yung kanyang isip para siya ay matuto. Start where the people are. Start where the farmers are. Meron silang existing knowledge. Gamitin natin yun. Mayroon silang existing beliefs and practices. We start from that when we are teaching them. Second, there should be a voluntary change. Again, when we are extending help to these rural folks, dapat hindi sa pilitan. We are not forcing them to change. They should want to change. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. So that's voluntary change. Next, learning by doing. So ito yung practical way of teaching farmers. Ang mga farmers, hindi lang basta theory yung mga yan. Gusto nila na-experience sila hands-on kung ano yung itinuturo natin. So we want to create a learning environment wherein they can immediately apply the theory into practice in their farms. Next, participation and inclusiveness. The farmers must actively participate in the learning and decision making. Hindi ka, as an extensionist, hindi ka nagde-decide para sa farmer. Fina-facilitate mo yung process para si farmer ay mag-isip at mag-participate when it comes to decision making, problem solving, or analyzing the problem and creating solutions for that particular problem. Number 5, it pertains to communication, which is also related to participation. It should be two-way. Hindi lang dapat one way or yung tinatawag nating top-down. Okay? So meron kang teacher, nagtuturo sa mga estudyante, yung estudyante nakikinig lang. That's one-way communication. In agricultural extension, it should be two-way. You are giving a lecture as a teacher, as an extensionist, you are giving the information, but at the same time, you are also gauging yung kanilang feedback. Kaya later on, when we talk about communication, as the topic progresses, makita natin yung kahalagahan ng feedback sa communication process. Next, gender sensitivity and equity. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Ibig sabihin dapat both men and women, okay, should benefit equally from the extension services. So there should be some sort of equity when it comes to empowering both genders. Sustainability is another one. Dapat yung mga activities natin, yung mga projects natin, hindi lang siya short term, but it should build long-term capacity. Okay? Dapat hindi lang siya short-sighted na after 1 year, magiging successful sila. Pero right after 1 year, pero beyond 1 year, ano magiging effect nun? Tatagal ba yung proyekto? Ma-adapt ba nila yung mga itinuro natin? So we're always talking about sustainability. How can we sustain it or prolong it? Okay? Prolong it not just within the population itself, pero if we are daring, we can also promote these technologies, these improvements sa kanilang mga anak or sa mga next generation within that community. Number 8, we need to believe in the principle of cooperation and coordination, which means extension must harmonize efforts with other developmental programs and stakeholders. As an agricultural extensionist, hindi ka lang nag-iisa. Hindi ikaw ang bida. You need to link yourself to other organizations such as mga state universities and colleges, mga NGOs, mga private organizations, kasi baka may input sila na mas makakatulong doon sa konteksto kung nasaan si farmer. And finally, this is related to number 1, cultural respect. Again, sabi ko, this is related to start where the people are. Kasi yung mga programs, yung mga activities, yung mga projects na ibibigay natin dun sa community must be sensitive to their local traditions, languages, and practice. So ito yung mga different principles that as a modern agricultural extensionist, you should embody. And if you can see here, itong agricultural extension na to, itong mga principles of agricultural extension na to, medyo malayo siya as compared to the traditional na thoughts, okay, or traditional approaches when it comes to agricultural extension. So there's a shift. For instance, makita natin that from this diagram, ang extension again nag-shift from being commodity-based into integrated. So when you say commodity-based, ang extension programs dati are focused only on a specific crop or animal. So there's actually an approach based on this. No? We call this as commodity-based approach. So ang commodity-based approach, nakafocus lang yan on one specific production. For example, rice lang, rice production, coconut production lang. Ang modern agricultural extension, ngayon, it should be integrated. Ibig sabihin, we're not just promoting the production of a specific crop, ina-address natin yung entire farming system, which includes crops, livestock, environment, and even the market altogether. There's also a shift from being top-down to being participatory. So top-down, example natin kanina dito, is that mayroon kang expert, dinidiktahan niya lang si farmer kung ano ang dapat niyang gawin. That's top-down. So saan galing yung knowledge? Kay expert lang. Pero actually, for these days, we're discouraging it. We are more inclined to do participatory, which means the farmers should be involved. Dapat nagpa-participate sila on how they identify the problems. Ano ba yung problema? Ano ba yung mga iba't ibang solusyon? Dapat sila yung magde-decide. So that's participatory. There's also a shift from having uniform messages to tailored advices. So in the past, ang extension, dinideliver yan uniformly. So manggagaling kasi sa taas, yun yung approach ng top-down. Manggagaling sa taas, isang mensahe lang yan, isang approach. And then ibababa yan sa mga farmers. But today, especially with the devolution of extension services, ang mga advice naka-tailor fit na yan. So parang damit, no? Tailor fit, bagay na bagay dun sa susuot ng damit. It means, ina-adjust yung recommendation base doon sa pangangailangan ni farmer, base doon sa kanyang specific or unique situation. Aside from that, makita natin there's a shift na from technology transfer, nagmo-move tayo towards local capacity building. So it's not just about teaching the farmers how to use a particular technology. Ang gusto na natin ngayon is to help farmers develop yung kanilang skills, yung kanilang confidence to innovate, solve problems, and adapt technologies. Kasi minsan, yung mga farmer, nag-iisip yung mga yan, matatalino yung mga yan eh. So akala mo, napakaganda ng technology mo, pero mas may maire-recommend sila na mas maganda. For some, meron pa nakaka-invento ng mas magandang teknolohiya that is more adaptable to their local setting. And finally, there's a shift in extension from public delivery into pluralistic delivery. So what is the difference between these two? Kapag sinabi mong public delivery, ang extension daw ay nakafocus lamang sa ay trabaho lamang ng gobyerno. Okay? So the government is the one that should provide extension services. But this time around, we're saying no. Ang modern agricultural extension says, no, dapat integrated yan. We should involve as many organizations as we can. Hindi lang mga public agencies. Dapat kasama dyan yung iba't ibang mga players katulad ng NGOs, private companies, universities, and farmer organizations. So pluralistic, it's not just the government, but a lot of organizations should be involved. In short, itong shifts in paradigm na to, it recognizes na ang mga farmer ay hindi lang basta blank na canvas na kailangan mong punuin. Okay? Ang mga farmers may sariling katilinuhan yung mga yan. In fact, they are their scientists of their own farms. And kailangan nila ng support, kailangan nila ng respect, and they need to be able to collaborate and participate in solving their own problems. So that's the whole idea of agricultural extension. So sipin nyo na lang, an introduction to agricultural extension. Now that we're done identifying what is extension, what are its goals, its functions, the different principles, let's talk about Ano-ano yung mga different approaches and models in agricultural extension? So what is an extension approach? Okay? Or what is an extension model? So an extension approach, yan ay isang organized and coherent combination of strategies and methods. So in extension, we use several strategies and methods. We term them as approaches in combination para maging effective yung extension effort natin. Itong mga approaches din na to reflects a particular philosophy or a particular principle. Okay? It reflects a particular style of action and saan patungo, ano yung direction ng ating extension programs. It also determines kung paano ba dapat madisenyo yung mga different extension programs natin. How is leadership being structured? And how are extension activities being delivered? But you have to remember, guys, mayroong common na elements sa mga different approaches na to. Ano yung mga common elements na ano yung mga pare-parehas na elemento kahit na magkakaiba yung approaches ng extension. Number one, nasabi ko kanina, it's non-formal education. Number two, mostly ang focus is agricultural content or home economics. And number three, lagi ang goal is to aim to improve the rural people's living standards. Okay? Now, let's go on with the 11 or 12 approaches in agricultural extension. So the first approach is what we define as the general agricultural extension approach. So general agricultural extension approach, yan yung pinaka-dominant na government extension model for over 8 years here in the Philippines. Mostly ginagamit yan ng Department of Agriculture natin. Now, simply put, ang general agricultural approach is based on the assumption na ang technology at ang information is already available. So that's the first assumption. Sa general agricultural extension approach, the first assumption is technology and information are already available, na andyan na. Ano yung problema? Ang problema, hindi ginagamit ni farmer. So ano yung goal sa general agricultural extension approach? Ipagamit kay farmer yung mga technology and information. So nakafocus tayo on technology and knowledge transfer. So the government will create an organized outreach program para ma-reach nila yung mga farmer and ma-transfer yung mga different knowledge and technologies na ito. So ano ang strength ng general agricultural extension approach? Well, first off, dahil nanggagaling yan mostly sa central government, central offices, very strong ang institutional support. Ang suporta ng gobyerno malakas. And the reach is also wide. Okay, lalo na kapag we include all of these rural extension services na ginagamit na nakalink sa ating mga national offices. However, the weakness is that this approach is usually top-down and technology-centered. So when we say top-down, inuutusan natin si farmer kung ano yung dapat niyang gawin. So we are not considering the needs of the farmer. And at the same time, merong risk na baka yung iprinomote natin kay farmer ay hindi akma dun sa kanyang sitwasyon. So those are the weakness naman of general agricultural extension approach. The next one, you might have heard this when we're talking about the shift in the paradigms of modern agricultural extension, commodity approach or commodity-based approach. So ang commodity approach naman, nakafocus tayo dyan sa iisang production, sa production ng isang specific crop or livestock. So ano ang assumption dito? Ang assumption is, kapag si farmer or kapag ang isang farm community specializes in one commodity, it will efficiently improve yung kanilang farm productivity. So ano yung strength ng approach na to? So first, this approach is highly technical kasi nakafocus lang siya on one specific commodity. So lahat ng technical knowledge, lahat ng scientific researches na pwede mong ibigay kay farmer on that specific crop, ibibigay mo. At the same time, napakadaling i-measure ng success kasi iisa lang yung iyong pinapalaki, iisa lang yung project or isang crop lang or isang livestock lang yung gusto mong i-raise ni farmer. However, there's some weaknesses as well. Una,
Magtitake ka ba ng licensure exam for agriculturist this year? If yes, I believe my course is for you. Enroll now at Learning Agri Withal modular course by clicking the link below. Ano pang hinihintay mo? Mag-enroll ka na. Samahan kita mag-review. Bye!